Let me hit record. What's today's date? I never know. Is it March? Is it the 27th, 28th?
It's the 29th.
It's the 29th. Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, so welcome. It's the 29th. This is our first official Team B new coach call. And to be honest with you guys, my intention behind this is more than anything just to meet you guys where you are without coming with a specific agenda like I do for our normal like team calls, because I want to help you guys with wherever you're stuck, whether that be a place on your wellness journey, your fitness journey, your nutrition, or your inviting, wherever it may be. So what I would love it if we could do, by the way, someone's on the phone, 817-271-5878. Who's on the phone?
Oh, that's me. I thought I was on video too.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
see y'all.
Oh, awesome. So we got Alyssa on the phone and on video. Awesome. Okay, great. I'll be really surprised if Michael and a couple other people don't sign in soon. But I have a couple things that we can talk about if we don't run out of time. But I want to start with us just going around and each one of you guys just kind of sharing where your roadblocks are, like whether it be you're having, and I'm not asking you to share with me inviting objections because we're going to save that to the end, but just any roadblocks that you're having right now, whether it be with training, your fitness, your nutrition, whatever. So Chrissy, I'd love for you to go first.
Okay, I feel like I'm having a lot of problems.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time like keeping myself to a schedule. That's one of my biggest problems right now, is I just can't seem to find the right schedule to work with. And because I also have my son and I'm doing everything by myself, so I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed a lot and I keep making things more complex than they have to be. So that's my one of the problems.
Okay, so let's start with that one.
Okay.
So let's start with that one. So first of all, at the beginning of building a business and being an entrepreneur, I think I posted in the new coach training group today, time management is one of the biggest struggles for new entrepreneurs, or even like stay-at-home moms who like to ride horses and decide you maybe want to put in a random power hour every once in a while. I mean, like, when you don't have a boss over you telling when you have to do what, it can be really challenging. That's the hardest part. So first of all, know you're not alone, that most people have that challenge right when they get started. Okay, so the first piece of advice I have, and all of this, take it with a grain of salt because it's all easier said than done. Okay, it all takes discipline, and I struggle with it every day too. But the timer, and the first thing I'm going to share with you is saying that you can't get the schedule figured out. Quit stressing about having it be perfect. Okay, and right now focus on scheduling it, doing the behaviors during that time that you've scheduled for during that time, and then allowing yourself to practice grace and compassion with yourself if you didn't get it all done. Okay, because we have, like, even me, like, I'll tell you, it is my goal every day. And I know this sounds like a lot to you guys because you're just new in the business and I'm not expecting you to do this, but it's my goal every day to invite 5 people to the business and 5 people to a challenge group. That's my goal every day. And I'm going to be real. When I sit down to do an hour of inviting, I get done 7 on average. It's a really, really good day if I get all 10 done. So today I sat down to work and I got 5 done. And I had to be okay with that. So the first thing is like really sitting down when you break down your day as your schedule is concerned. You got to do your workout, right? You have to do your personal development. You need to do your invites, your follow-ups, your posts. That's primarily like the nitty-gritty of what you have to schedule. So an hour at the beginning for invites and follow-ups. you can schedule an hour for your workout and your personal development, right? So 30 minutes workout, 30-minute personal development, and then maybe 30 minutes for your post. So as a new coach, you really shouldn't need more than 3 hours to get it all done. Technically, we're teaching you to do it in 1 hour, right? But 3 hours is like a lot of time. So is your schedule right now sticking to the time blocks that you've set for yourself?
Yeah, I'm having I get really anxious about sticking to a schedule. Like I don't know why, but I feel like I have so many things that I have to do that I'm like, well, I can just get this thing done first, and then I'll be able to focus more on doing I need to do. And so that's where I'm having a huge problem is one, like I'm overcomplicating everything because you just spelled it out really simply. Like it's really simple. You just work out, you invite, and you do your personal development. It's that simple. And I'm just making it really, really, really complicated and keeping myself to say like, okay, I set aside this time. This is what I need to do. But I have my client work I need to do, and there's this one other thing that I needed to do, and I get really anxious about sticking to the schedule, and I don't know why I'm like that.
So my two best suggestions are, besides using a timer, and when the timer goes off, you're done, you move on to the next thing, is two things. A, personal development. So a great one is Eat That Frog. That's about time management, and it's about organizing and prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Number two, personal development. Also, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown, which teaches us to have compassion with ourselves when we don't get it all done, or just being okay with that. And then number three is Chalene Johnson's 30-Day Push. So www.30daypush.com. So you're already doing that right now.
Yes.
Okay. So for me, primarily, Alyssa, you did 30-Day Push with me at the beginning of the year, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. So share with me what your experience was with that.
Oh, while I was doing it, it was really great. And then I've kind of fallen off of the, doing the daily to-do list. And I mean, I'll still do it when I know that I've got myself kind of overcommitted on things and really need to organize it. But I thought that the way that she explained prioritizing things made it really easy to break it down into manageable chunks. And I just kept track of it on Evernote. Like I had this is the stuff that absolutely must be done today. And then kind of hey, I'd really like to get this stuff during the week. And then kind of like a very general to-do list of like, hey, it's out there. At some point it's going to have to be done, but there's not really a time frame on it. And I really loved that. I got so much done while I was doing it. And it left me feeling every day like I was successful because I had a manageable to-do list and was able to kind of let go of the things that weren't oh my God, the world's going to end if I don't get this done today.
Yeah. Yeah. What day are you on, Chrissy?
I just started it today. I just looked it over today.
Okay, so you're just in day one.
Yeah.
Well, it will make a whole lot more sense as you get a couple more days into it, and she starts to talk about your key priorities. Once you really identify what your key priorities are, it makes everything else a whole lot easier, because I don't stress about certain things that I used to stress about anymore, because I've identified that's just not a priority for me right now. It's just not a priority. And for some people, working out isn't a priority. So you shouldn't stress about your body if working out is a priority. Just get over it. You haven't prioritized it, So it just move on. But so it was personal development, and I gave those 3 books. The other thing is dealing with anxiety is meditation. Is the idea of like setting aside, even if it's just 5 minutes, set a timer and sit down and breathe, because what's causing you to have anxiety are the voices in your head.
Yep.
Okay. And so it's the idea of taming the voices in your head. And if you want help with meditation, that's a different conversation, and you and I can talk about that. Okay.
Sounds good. Yes.
Okay. So Becky, what about you?
Where
are your roadblocks?
So I'm coming, I guess, at this differently. I almost am obsessive compulsive with my schedule. I love scheduling and being organized, and was almost like to the OCD level. But then I almost like get really down on myself when people are like, oh, no, and I'm not meeting my own goals. You know what I mean? Like, so whenever I don't meet my own expectations.
So what are your expectations that you're not meeting?
They're unrealistic. I know they are. I'm just, for this first, because it's only been about a month, a little bit over a month maybe. And I was expecting to get one person a challenge pack, and it just did not work. And I was, it's probably, the learning curve. I didn't do it right. I, probably just spewed information at someone.
Vomited information, yeah.
Right. So, there's pieces to that, but, it just didn't quite work out this month, but I need to work on keeping my head up and figuring out what I did wrong this month and moving on to next.
So are you practicing personal development, Becky?
Constantly.
Okay. Are you a reader or a listener or both?
Reader.
Okay. Once you're done feeding the baby, and if you need to PM me to ask me this question to remind you again, the book Go for No is what I would suggest for you. Have you heard of the book?
Yeah, I actually have it. I just haven't read it yet. I'm in the middle of another one.
I highly suggest reading that one as soon as possible. If you're stressing about people telling you no, or that you didn't hit that goal that you were looking for, Go for No is all about, when people tell you no, it's not no to you. It's not now. And we often put our own expectations onto people, and we make the assumption of whether they're going to do something or they're not going to do something based on our own personal experience. Like they use the story in the book that like the guy was a suit salesman or something like that, and it's kind of the whole idea of what's the butterfly effect. Yeah, it literally, did you see the movie? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, the movie Butterfly Effect, but also remember the movie Sliding Doors, where with who was that? Oh gosh, the British actress. Anyway, it's the idea that if you made just one decision differently, everything else would have been, it would just from one decision, everything else would have changed. And it showed him how, like, he went into one business experience where he assumed that the guy thought that this is, maybe I'm totally botching this, okay, but for the general purpose. Like, if I assume, pretend I'm a suit salesman or a dress salesperson, and I assume that spending $100 on a dress is just way too much money. So someone's going to come into my store and I'm going to try to sell them $50 dresses because my assumption is I think it's too much money to spend $100 on a dress. But say a woman walks into your store who's used to shopping at Saks, and to spend $100 on a dress is cheap. She's used to spend $500 on a dress. And so I would have just missed out on this amazing commission because I didn't have the guts to ask, because I put my own assumptions on her. And so that's what that book is. It has a lot to do with. And so it's about getting over kind of the things that are in our head, our own mind, that stand in the way of our success and our progress. So first, practice grace with yourself, and then ask yourself too, did I do the behaviors? Let go of the result. Did you do the behaviors? Did you send out invites every day? Did you send out follow-ups and all of those things? And if you did those behaviors, and if you do them consistently, know that due to the compound effect, it will eventually happen.
Yeah.
But you can't feel bad about yourself if you're doing the behaviors.
Okay.
Feel bad about yourself if you're doing the behaviors. But if you go a couple more months and you haven't sold a challenge pack and you're doing the behaviors, then that means Jill and I need to spend some time really digging into your invite process, to see what your verbiage is. Maybe there's just like a little bit of verbiage that needs to be tweaked somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
Give it another month or two, being consistent, and hopefully
Okay.
it'll all happen for you within the next month. But
Cool.
yeah, awesome. So I know Alyssa didn't walk in, isn't as engaged in like business activities as the rest of you. And so honestly, I'm really, really, really surprised that she even decided to join us today. I texted her about the call just to see if she wanted to. But so tell me, Alyssa, is there anything that you're feeling the need that you're needing some assistance on right now?
Oh, I mean, I'm just kind of on here to learn a little bit and kind of see what the whole deal's about. So
Okay.
I'm more than happy to just kind of listen in and glean some information for tonight.
No worries. Okay, good deal. So my intention for the remainder of the call, which Chrissy, I know you might have had some more, so share with me if there's other roadblocks. But what I had for the intention for the rest of the call was to do an exercise called Feel, Felt, Found. And what that is it's a role-playing exercise where we're going to go through different objections that you guys have gotten from people about why they're not interested, so I can share with you guys how I would overcome an objection, and so you guys can practice doing the same. But before we dive into that, Chrissy, you said you felt like you had lots of roadblocks. Is there anything else that you're feeling you're needing some support on right now? Before we dive in?
I'm not really having, well, I mean, I'm having a problem with the invitations, but I'm not getting no's. I am just getting no responses. Like
No responses. Okay.
Questions who I talk to on a regular basis, they just no response. Like they ignore any kind of invitation. Like a little challenge group now, and there's 4 people in it. One is Jill and one is me, and then there's 2 other people. But like just no response at all.
So do me a favor and pull out your phone real quick.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. Or
Yeah.
do you have okay, so maybe you won't be able to do it because I don't know how it works. If you can actually share with me the verbiage in which you're using when you invite someone.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I actually have like a sample of something that I did.
And after you share that, I'll share with you the verbiage of what I use to invite people today.
Okay, so one of the things that I wrote after, like, I mean, it was with somebody that I already had like a back and forth conversation with, so I just kind of like plugged it in there. So it was like, oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen my post, but I'm doing a little photo fit challenge. I know you're into photography and that you've been thinking about maybe getting back into making it more of a hobby. It's the fun little challenge that will give you some clean eating recipes, some healthy habits, and a fun little photo challenge exercise for 7 days. It's not very time consuming. There's no, no real commitment. It's just, a place to have some accountability and to learn some new healthy habits. Let me know if you're interested and want to be a part of it.
Okay, so I like your verbiage, but I'm going to share with you it was too much.
Okay.
It was too much. Because I can already tell you that if I were getting that message right now, that if for a free group, that, I mean, it just needs to be short and sweet. So like 2 sentences, maybe 3 at tops, like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I've become really passionate about wellness, and I am teaming up with my coach to do a free clean eating group next week, and we are including I'm including tips for photography along the way. Does this sound interesting to you? That's it. I mean, you don't have to use that verbiage exactly, but just don't give them that much information.
Okay. Because I've sent other ones where I didn't give that much information, where I just simply was like, hey, I saw, because somebody liked one of the posts that I did. It's like, hey, I saw that you liked my post. I was just wondering if you wanted some more information or if you wanted to join in the fun photo fit challenge that I'm holding.
Okay. So two things. One is always end with or start with a personal question for them.
Okay. Yeah, usually it's already like, it's in like already in like a conversation that we're already having. So.
Okay. Well, I literally just sent this message the other day to someone who ignored me for a couple days. And I sent this message to her. I was totally being serious, but made it really light. Like, hey, by the way, do you know Messenger I can tell when you view a message? Are you totally ignoring me? And then I put LOL afterwards. I did. I totally sent that message. I'm like, I just want to let you know that I can see on Messenger when you read a message, like you've totally read my message and you haven't replied. What's up? You know, I mean, I call them out, but I don't do it in a negative, mean way. I do it in a like, what's up? I mean, you know, what's up, girl? I see you saw my message. Are you totally ignoring me? Like and I also, FYI, later down the road, I make it really easy for people to say no. Really, really, really easy to say no. I am very common to use this verbiage. And I want you to know it will not hurt my feelings, and I won't take it personally if you're not interested right now. But I would love to hear back from you either way. So I always make it really easy for people to say no. And like the message that I just sent people today. Oh gosh, if I can find one. Sorry, I don't want to open one that someone replied back to me, because then I'll forget to message them back. And see, mine is a little bit more specific because I'm being real with what I'm doing. Random, but I started it with, I was just on your page. That's a beautiful banner pic. It was a picture of a horse. I'm like, do you ride horses? Is he or she yours? Random, but I'm heading to Cancun in May, and I have a photo shoot on the beach scheduled. Eek! In order to prep and look my best, I'm going to do the 21-day Fix Extreme. It focuses on clean eating and portion control and 30-minute killer home workouts. I've done it multiple times and have had amazing results each time. I'm looking for 5 women to join me. Are you interested? And that's it. But it also comes with time and consistency. I just made a post a second ago on Facebook, just literally before we started this call, is that people aren't looking to you right now for fitness and for clean eating because you're just starting. People aren't looking to you for that. And so starting that conversation is going to be a little bit harder. Okay? Just accept that. Swallow that right now, because you have to establish credibility first. So just because you're doing it doesn't mean that everybody's sold that you're still going to be doing it in 6 months. Does that make sense? Like, some people will want to watch you for a good 6 months to know that you're not going to be on to the next MLM in a couple months. So with the remaining time that we have, let's do some feel found, because we're almost done. So I would like each one of you guys to bring an objection to the table. Alyssa, I'm going to ask you to play too, and I am going to combat your objection. And FYI, next week on our all hands call, we're going to do this role playing exercise again, but I'm going to make everybody do the role that I'm playing now. Okay? So where you guys next time will have to do what I'm doing. So the idea with feel felt found is, A, when someone gives you an objection, you acknowledge them, saying you understand how they feel. Second, you express to them that you once have felt the same way too, and share with them how you felt that. And then found is how you overcame that yourself. So literally, this is a philosophy that's used in all forms of sales: feel, felt, found. So throw at me an objection. So Alyssa, when I first invited you ever to Beachbody, maybe you told me no. what would have been a reason that you would have told me no? Or what do you think someone would say if I invited you to a challenge group? What would you think common objection would be if why someone would say they're not interested?
The biggest one is too expensive.
Too expensive. Okay. Shakeology, the challenge pack, the workout, or all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay. You know, Alyssa, I completely understand how you feel. I used to feel that way too. When I found out that Shakeology was between $3 and $4 a day, I about crapped my pants and could not believe that people were paying that much money for a protein shake. So I completely get it. But, you know, I became a coach because I was already a fitness professional. And for me, it was a business decision. And honestly, I had no intention of drinking Shakeology. I really didn't. I was just going to use Activit, which is our multivitamin. But I decided that I was going to buy a bag of Shakeology and just one bag, drink it just so I could be able to tell people with integrity what it tasted like, because let's be real, it's the Shakeology, which is the main hunk of the price. It's the workout program is pennies compared to the Shakeology. So I bought a bag just so I could tell people with integrity what it tasted like primarily and how it made me feel. But what I found is I really didn't realize that I was imbalanced in my body nutritionally. I really thought that I had it down, but honestly, I had IBS my entire life since I had been a little girl, and I was never regular until that first month of Shakeology. And all of a sudden, I started to poop every day, and I had never pooped every day my entire life. And that may be way TMI, but when you're not pooping every day, you don't lose weight well, you don't feel well because of the levels of toxicity in your body, and it actually can cause disease in the gut. And so what I found is now that I poop every day, I am more than happy to pay $3 to $4 a day to poop, and I no longer find it expensive anymore. So what I would find interesting with you, Alyssa, is to see after you've tried it for a while if there's some things in your body that it fixes that you never even realize is off balance. So, and also it comes with 100% money back guarantee. So if it doesn't end up working for you in the end, then you can get all your money back. So there's nothing to lose, really. Want to give it a try? Got in with that. Okay, so now, let's see, what would yours be besides money? Got to come up with another one.
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I get a lot of, I am too out of shape to work out. I will have a heart attack.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm too out of shape to work out. I'll have a heart attack. Okay. I understand how you feel. I personally have never been that out of shape where I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. However, my father has been. And I'll never forget when he first made the decision to start working out, he was really, really hesitant about it. But what we found is if he first started to focus on his nutrition instead of on the workouts, first focusing on the nutrition first, because 80% of your results are going to come from your nutrition. And so if you're concerned about the workouts and your heart having a heart attack, then would you be willing to just try practicing maybe the portion control and Shakeology at first and just starting walking? Because if you start with a 21-day fix, what we can do is you can go ahead and purchase the whole thing. You can start with the Shakeology and the portion fix, and you can start walking. And then once you feel like you've lost a little bit of weight, maybe 5 to 10 pounds, and maybe you start getting your heart rate up regularly from walking, you might find that then it's an easier transition into doing the workouts and you may not feel like your heart is in as much jeopardy because you've already started to make those small changes in order to make your life change a little bit more slow than dramatic. Do you feel like that would be something that's more doable for you than just diving in? How did that feel?
Awesome.
It felt good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Becky? What has been objection you've been getting?
One of my favorites was from one of my friends when I posted that I was losing weight. She said, "Are you doing that nutrition part?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "That's tough. I'd rather be fat than give up my fried foods."
Okay. So if she says, "I'd rather be fat than give up my fried foods," that one's really hard.
Yeah, really hard.
That might not be one that you're going to win.
Yeah.
But this would be the route that I would take. I would start asking a lot of questions. Or actually, if you use felt found, this is what I would say. I understand how you feel. I felt that way too because I freaking love French fries and I freaking love a big juicy hamburger. I there's not much more than I love more than a handful of French fries. It's for real to this day. Mexican food too, all of that. I love it. I felt that way too. But to be honest with you, like what I started contemplating is I don't know about you, but I don't have any grandparents anymore. My children have no grandparents anymore because of heart disease and diabetes. And what I have found is that since my parents have made the decision to make a life change in order to be present for their grandchildren, I have noticed how them choosing to be active with their grandchildren has totally changed the relationship that they have with my kids. So that can go with grandparent and grandchild, or that can go with parent and child. So what I have found is the majority of people, once that they literally just do clean eating for a couple weeks, it starts to change the chemical imbalance of the brain to where you want to feel good and you want to be healthy. So, I found that clean eating isn't nearly as hard as the idea of thinking about dying before my kids graduate from high school or before I have grandkids. So that's the easy felt found way about doing it, Becky. But honestly, what I would start doing is start asking a lot of questions, like I would
Right.
ask, do they have kids?
Yeah, and it was one of those ones I just it was the very first conversation, like from the very first post. I was like, what? Oh, okay. If you change your mind, call me. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
And see, yeah, at that point I would have started asking, like, well, does heart disease or diabetes? I would start asking those questions, and
Right.
if they're so like I would rather be fat than give up my fried foods, I would start asking a lot of those questions just to start planting seeds, but I would let go of winning that one. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you really care about that person, I would still ask the questions to plant the seeds, because those questions might be the seeds that actually start to bloom
Yeah.
the shift that they are in. Because I can't tell you how many people are on our team that have told me no multiple times. Alyssa, how many times you tell me no before you signed up? She was a coach. She left. She came back. I think she probably told me no 5 times over the past 4 years that I've known her.
Yeah, I can duck my toes in and go back and do my own thing and definitely in and out.
Right? Right. So,
Yep.
so Becky, also the main important part is we work with the willing.
Yeah.
It's not our job to sell people. It is our
Right.
job to educate people and to invite them to join us and to ask them a whole lot of questions to get them to second guess their behaviors.
Mhm.
You know? So you know what's going to be really, really, really freaking awesome is when you are a couple more months longer further along into your journey and she's jealous as hell of you later in the summer when you're rocking your sleeveless shirts or, you know, whenever you're like
Right.
feeling good in your own skin. She's going to be so jealous of you, and it's going to go one of two ways. She's either going to become a hater or she's going to start knocking on your door. One of the two,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And the important thing to remember, her response has nothing to do with you. Her response has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with what's going on in her own head. So, ask questions, plant seeds, but then work with the willing, bless and release, move on. Anything else, ladies? We're technically at time, but you have me right now. And so if there's anything else, I'm here to serve you. Anything else?
Mhm.
Okay.
I have
Okay, one more, Chrissy, go for
sorry.
it.
Okay, sorry. So the problem that I'm running is I also don't have any interaction on like my social media platforms. Like I feel like I just keep getting crickets from every angle.
Mhm.
So I
Okay.
don't know like how to, I don't know, get people to be more engaged and interact and interested. I don't.
Are you
don't know
spending
what I'm
time on
doing.
other people's Facebook pages?
I
Commenting,
am, yes.
liking on theirs?
Yes.
Are you tagging them when you comment and like on their page?
No.
That's it,
I do
right there.
not.
That's it,
Okay.
right there. Because when someone posts on their wall and you comment, the only way for it to affect y'all's interaction in the algorithm is for you to also tag them so they see
Okay.
that you commented, and so then they'll go and they'll look. Because that has to do with all the tagging processes. So make
Okay.
sure you're tagging, make sure you're asking engaging questions on your page. So have you noticed?
Yeah, I feel like
Go ahead.
I feel like I keep asking questions and I'm trying to like work out how to get people to respond, but I get nothing.
What are your questions
Nothing.
about?
Like just like, you know, how, like, what's your favorite quote? How do you boost your energy during the day? What are you doing this afternoon? How are you enjoying the weather? Like, and I'm
Make it
just
fluffier. Make it fluffier.
fluffier.
Make it
Okay.
fluffier. Make it fluffier. You notice my random bullshit half the time? It's like, who has tattoos? Who has piercings? It's like,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, it's because when it's light and people can easily say yes or no, feel like a bath or a
Okay.
shower. Bath or shower. I mean, if you're asking people to think and give more than a word or two, you're out.
Okay.
Okay, so ask engaging yes or no questions. Android or iPhone? Everybody, triple dog dare you to post that tomorrow. Ask that question: Android or iPhone? Or this is another good one that usually gets a lot of response. What type of device are you viewing this from right now? Phone, computer, whatever. People will put those fluffy bullshit questions get more engagement than anything else. I always post them around 3 o'clock because that's when my demographic, my stay-at-home moms, my moms who are like getting kids off from school, moms are in car line at 3 o'clock is what it is. So I always post it right then because moms are in car line. I get a whole bunch of response, and then my algorithm boosts. So then I post something of value or of content between 5 and 7 p.m., 5 and 8 p.m. That's the intention behind my 3 o'clock bullshit. Literally, that is my intention. Is because I know half of the people aren't paying attention to my nutrition and fitness and stuff that's really good stuff, like the stuff that's really valuable. Most of the people don't care. And so they're not going to seek it out. But if my random bullshit got a whole bunch of likes and comments, my next post is going to show up in their newsfeed. So, and my next answer to that is time and consistency. Let yourself let go of feeling that you're going to be able to walk in your first month and have a ton of people comment on your stuff. I was actually looking at Time Hop the other day of seeing like posts that I made. I literally reposted the same exact post that I did 2 years ago today. The whole like, what word do you see first? What word do you see first? I did that post today at 3 o'clock. 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I think I got 4 or 5 comments. I got 75 today. You know, so just time and consistency. That's it. What else? Anything? Guys, I'm so proud of you for freaking just showing up. Showing up is half the battle. I know there were 2 more people actually 3 more people, my personally sponsored, who said they were going to be here tonight and they're not. So showing up is half the battle. I applaud you for showing up. We will start next week, will be our new coach training restarts over again. So we'll be plugging new people in, but it's going to be the same stuff we're going to be doing. I'm going to actually have intention of giving you guys a little bit more content in April. But the next thing you're inviting to after this week is our next free clean eating group. So those are so easy to invite to. And I know, Chrissy, you're doing the thing with the pictures, which is such a brilliant idea. But I thought
it was going to be fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun. But my first question for you is, though, is it too complicated? You know, you and me can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I was I figured I just wanted to jump in and do it.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, I'm just gonna jump in and do it and see, and who knows? I mean, like I said, I only have 2 people in it, and they're people that I know really well. They aren't engaging at all, not at all. Jill is in it, and Jill is leaving comments and being awesome. But it was just something that I was like, I want to see how it works, and I just want to dive in and see what all it's going to entail. And it was kind of more of just like a learning process kind of right now, so I could like better prepare for a more structured one, I guess.
Well, I know photography is your niche. One thing you're going to find, though, that is challenging and frustrating, but it is what it is there are going to be a lot of times that there's stuff that you want to share with people that's not what people are looking for.
Yeah.
You know, so I have done a bajillion straight clean eating challenges and ab challenges. You know, I've taught yoga and I've meditated for over a decade. I've done one group that I had gave meditation stuff in, and I've offered to do those again and give a meditation tip every day too, to help people start with their own meditation practice, which I thought would be awesome. That's what I do. I'm better at meditating than I am at eating clean. But I don't know about that. But I haven't done another one. I've done one. And because that's not what people want from me. People want recipes. So you know, it may be a learning curve at first too, as you grow your coaching business, as far as certain people might be looking to you for certain things and other people might be looking at you for other things. So, you know, after you've been doing it for a while, it never hurts to just make a random post on your Facebook page that says, out of all the stuff that you see me post about, and maybe list a couple things, which interests you the most? Every time I make a question like that, I'm blown away by what people respond to. Nothing to do with meditation, yoga, clean eating, all the stuff that I'm crazy into. It all has to do with that I'm really great at making light of life. That's what people want to see me do. You know, so sometimes you have to meet people where they are. What else, ladies? Anything else? Okay. My cleaning crew comes on Tuesdays, which I'm not bitching about, but I have laundry all over my bed that needs to be put away from my cleaning crew. So that's what I'm going to go do now. You ladies have a fantastic night. We will have our all hands team call with some different training information next Tuesday. So I really hope to see you guys then. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. And please let me know ever if you need me, because you know what? The people who show up get replied to me faster than everybody else. So y'all have a great night.
You too.